to another episode of Dad Can We Talk. I'm your host, Anthony Ray. And today, man, I got a special guest today, man. One of my big homies from way back in the days, man. Man, y'all listen. I met this guy back in '06. And we just, from the first time we met, man, it was just, it was love, man. You know, it was real. This is a guy, man, that always kept it real with me. You know, always kept it 100. You know, I never had any doubts about this man. You know, and to see where he is today, to see his growth, to see him being the father that he is today, man. I'm proud to call this guy my friend, one of my brothers. And man, we gonna definitely get into it, man. This is episode 38, and man, this is one of my, I would say this is one of these episodes, man, that, you know, out of the 38 to 40 dads that I've sat down and talked with, man, this right here is one of my favorite people, man. So y'all welcome to the show, my man Mike Nico.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Dog.
Thank you for having me, bro. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
It's good to be here.
Yes, sir, man. First off, man, you know we wanna give a shout out, man, to my boy Sean Nico. Sean, we love you, my boy.
Shout out, cousin. Cousin.
Yeah, and you know we wanna give a rest in peace to my boy Nick, man. We lost our brother last year, and this one right here for you.
Hey, bro.
Yes, sir.
Shout out
Yes,
to
sir.
you, bro. Rest in peace.
First question I like to get to on the pod, man. I like to ask, what was your relationship like with your dad?
My relationship with my dad was a good relationship, man. He was solid. He worked, took care of the family. You know what I mean? He worked 7 days a week. So, you know, he taught me to make sure I'm always working, taking care of the family. You know what I mean? We had a pretty solid relationship. There was a lot of things that I look back on that he could have done better that I think about. But for the most part, man, he was always there. You know, there was never nothing that we wanted for. You know what I mean? So he took care of his business. And you know what I'm saying? I'll forever be thankful for him.
That's real.
So we had a good relationship, man. And I'm just blessed. You know what I mean? That I have both my mom and dad together. And it never was perfect, man, but always been very blessed from the start, bro.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. And I like hearing stuff like that, man. You know, to hear stories of dads that were there, you know, and really inspired and encouraged their children, you know, because one thing I like to point out, man, is how important fathers are to the family. You know, I think at times, you know, society makes it seem like
needs you. The kids need you. Your wife needs you.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So it's important for you to be there. That's a fact. You gotta be there. The man is necessary. You know what I mean? You have to be there and make sure you're taking care of your kids. It's so important. Moms too.
Yeah.
The kids need it's super important. Even if you're in a situation where you have to split, which you know is never the ideal case. You know what I mean? You want to keep the family together if you can. But if you're in a situation where you want to split, it's super important to try to remember that the kids need both their mom and dad. You know what I mean? It's super important. It's just the dad, it's like you gotta be the strongest, smartest one. You know what I mean? Yeah, it starts with you. You gotta lead by example. They're gonna dish out. You know, you're gonna get what you're dishing out. You know what I mean? Your wife's gonna give you, she gonna multiply whatever you give her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give her something, she gonna multiply it. So, you know what I mean? It's important for you to be there, that's for sure.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. So with you having that relationship that you had with your dad, how has that transferred over into how you are now with your own children?
A lot for the most part, except for, you know, I feel like I learned to be better than my dad. You know what I mean? In a whole lot of ways. And growing up in that time, it was a different era. You know what I'm saying? My mom and dad were foreigners coming here, and and they worked all the time, so they didn't really know what was going on or the culture. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to communicate with them because it wasn't the same. These days, you know what I mean? Kids are much smarter. My son is so much smarter than I was at that age. You know what I mean? So it's I took from him the hard working aspect, making sure you work every day and pay the bills and take care of your family. You know what I mean? Everything that he taught me. And I also take the things that, you know, he wasn't conscious of at the time to do. I'm blessed enough to be able to realize that and try to do that with my kids. You know what I mean? As much as I can. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. His relationship with me, of course, impacted me a lot. Just like any relationship that someone might have with their father. You know what I'm saying? So.
And so you have 3 children, right?
Yes, sir.
3, and what's the ages?
10, 3, and 1.
10, 3, and 1.
1 and a half.
And so you have a little space at 10 and 3.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then the 2 kind of.
So I already know that 3 and 1 is serious, bro.
Yeah, for sure. They keep us busy. That's for sure. They running always, and they both. Whew, you know what I mean? They're like me, so yeah, they keep me running. Yeah. It's a lot, man. It's a lot, but it's worth it always. You know what I'm saying? The good always outweighs the bad. It's not even close. So yeah, man. Whew. So they're feisty, the girls. That's for sure.
Man.
Yeah, I know you know.
Girl, what?
I know you know. It's different too.
It's different, bro.
It's so different. Raising a boy and raising a girl, man, it's crazy. You
Yeah.
don't think it's that different, but it is.
Yeah. Man, what was your first reaction when you found out that you were about to be a dad?
I think at the time I was 22,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean? I was a little shocked.
Yeah.
And but at the same time, man, I've always been the kind of person where, you know what I mean? Whatever it is that gets put in front of you, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta take care of it, do what you gotta do. So I never felt like scared or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I was shocked at first, and then I just kind of got myself ready. You know what I mean? I think for the most part. I was young.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So like, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You about to be a dad, you know what I mean? And then when you there and he, you know, and they push the baby out. When your baby first comes out, then you know it's real. You know what I mean? So it was pretty surreal for me. I was pretty young, man. You know what I mean? 22 when I had my son. How old were you when you had your first? Yeah.
No, I was 2013 when I had my first. Dang, I think I was 23. 22 or 23, about the same.
So I guess that's not
Yeah.
super young. Kids definitely have them younger than that. But still, to me, at the time, of course, I felt like I was grown. But you know what I mean, looking back.
We were jits.
22,
We were jits.
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's funny to look back. Look back on that.
Because when I think back, you know, even nowadays, you know, back then I felt like, you know, I was mature. You know, I was married and stuff at the time, you know, so.
Right.
But when I look back, I'm like, man, shoot, wow, like where I was mentally, you know, emotionally, spiritually, man, I was legit.
Right.
You know, like
For sure.
even though, you know, I had, you know, changed my life and all this stuff, but it was like, if I'm honest with myself, at that time we weren't ready. Me or my wife,
Right.
you know, we still had so many things, and we talk about this stuff a lot. You know, me and her, we talk about, you know, how we could have waited a little longer before we got married.
Right.
You know, we could have waited for children. You know,
Time was right for whatever reason.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean? You might not have been ready, but that's what set you up to be exactly where you are right now.
That's real.
You know what I mean? So man. It's
That's real.
Yeah.
So, okay, boom, you had your first one, and I know you went through some hard stuff with your first child.
Yeah,
Talk about that experience, man.
So, different moms, my son and my 2 daughters.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the hardest times of my life, man.
Yeah.
When me and my son's mom split, it was crazy because not waking up to him every morning, that was pretty much a decision I had to make. You know what I mean? And that's definitely, obviously, not something that you want to do. But when the relationship between two people, you know, gets to a point where you feel like, you know, it's unhealthy for you, and then and for her, it's gonna be unhealthy for the kid too. You know what I mean? So having to make that decision, and then he, you know, my son was young, maybe a year and a half, close to being 2, but he was so smart. You feel me? So he knew what was happening. So it was tough, cause he was like, you know, what is going on? You know what I mean? It was very tough on him, on his mom. You feel me? We went through a lot, for sure. That was probably one of the hardest years of my life.
I remember you
That year after that first, that split,
man.
for sure. But you know what I mean? You make it through.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do. I made sure that it was always known that I was still trying to be there for my son, and that, you know what I mean, it was important for me and his mom to both be there. You know what I mean? At some point, she wanted to move back down south, and she did that. I told her I wasn't gonna keep her from moving, but you know what I mean? Boom, I'm gonna move where my son is at. So I ended up moving down there. Had to get a lawyer, go to custody, you know what I'm saying? Go to court for custody and whatnot. Ended up spending a lot of money and taking care of business and doing what I had to do, man. Ended up getting 50-50 custody.
Okay.
And yeah, man, yeah, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
Just gotta, you know, make sure you're there. Little man went down south. I went down there, let my presence be known.
Yeah.
Made sure that they knew I was always gonna be around. You know what I'm saying, to a certain extent. And yeah, man,
That's
tough, man. Splitting ain't easy. It's the hardest on the kids.
Yeah.
You feel me? No matter what, it was hard on me for sure, and I know it was hard on his mom. But it's always the hardest on the kids. So little man is like, you know what I'm saying? He's been through a lot. He's so strong. He's such a smart kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm so proud of him because he's such a good big brother. He got a little brother on his mom's side too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for like all the stuff that he's been through with the back and forth, and he's seen me and his mom beef a little bit, and you know what I mean? For him to be where he's at right now is a blessing. Because he's a very smart, positive kid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a blessing, man. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
You feel me? You gotta do what you gotta do, and let God do the rest, bro.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. And for all the fathers out there listening, man, that might be going through, you know, the split, custody battles,
Yeah.
all of those types of things, man. And I know it's a lot of men going through that stuff. You know, I talk to guys almost every day, you know, about that type of stuff, man. And
Yeah.
I know it's hard, but man, keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know, continue to fight. You can't give up. You know,
You gotta hold your head, man.
that's real.
You gotta hold your head, and then, if possible, it's crazy, man, because dealing with, if you guys aren't on the same page, and you know what I mean, it's hard to deal with the mother of your child at times. You have to try to be the bigger person as much as you possibly can. That's so important for the child. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's just important for you to try to remember that when things get heated, if possible, it's important for you to just be like, listen, I'm just here trying to do what I have to do for the kid. And you know what I mean? It's easier said than done, but you just gotta try to dig that strength, man, and be the man that you need to be. You know what I'm saying? It's tough.
That's real.
It's tough.
Y'all keep your head up out there, man. I was just talking with a guy at work yesterday, man. He was telling me about a situation, man. And I'm just like, man, you know, and that's why I'm always so thankful, and, you know, that's the stuff that humbles me, because I always like to say to people, you know, I feel like I look at my situation, and I'm like, I don't have to go through, like, I look at dads like you, you know, God was talking with yesterday, you know, so many of my other friends, man. I'm like, I ain't got nothing to be complaining about. You know, I ain't never had to go through that type of stuff. You know, like, I always look at my situation like it was the
Definitely gotta be thankful, bro. Always.
Real.
For sure.
That's real.
Yeah, you blessed, bro. You most definitely want to work through it and keep the family together if that's what you can do, for sure. But if it don't work that way, you know, and this comes with time. You know what I mean? Like trying to be like just not fueling the fire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If she's upset and she's doing some shit or saying something that you don't like, don't do the same thing. Is all I'm saying. Like try to just be as cool as possible and do what you can that's best for the kid. You gotta try to always just think about the kid as much as you can. Again, it's always easier said than done, but you can do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's real.
So, yeah, man.
That's
It ain't easy, but you know. And then there's some situations where the parents get along, man, and they do what they gotta do and co-parent. You know what I'm saying? But in a situation where that's not the case, you know, you gotta try to make the best decisions you can and just always keep the kid in mind. You feel me? Because everything that she's talking about is gonna, and you're talking about is gonna affect the kid directly. You know what I'm saying? So,
Straight up.
yeah.
Straight up, man. Gotta be mindful of our conversations, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I wanted to ask you this, man. What is one of the most important lessons that you've learned from fatherhood up until this point?
Most important lesson I've learned from fatherhood. Probably how to be patient. You know what I mean? And I still, I got work to do.
Trust me.
Man,
Me too.
do I have some work to do? But still, coming a long way from when you're first born to just understanding that, they're their own person at times, and everything can't be perfect. Sometimes you want to micromanage, you know what I mean? And you might get upset over something that's small, and later on you think about it, or right when you do it, or right when you say something, you immediately are like, dang, you know what I mean?
True.
You know what I'm saying? That happens to me all the time, where I say something literally right after, I'm like, dude, you know what I mean? You could have been a little more chill about it. And I'm already an aggressive person, kind of loud as it is, but still you gotta watch all that, you know what I mean? My kids are like that too already because of me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like super important for you to just do the best you can, man. My patience, man. It ain't where it needs to be, but I do try to be very understanding of my kids and Chelsea and think of things from their point of view. You know what I'm saying? Especially my son, because he's going into being his own little man. So it's important for me to try to understand where he might be coming from, so I'm not quick to blow up on him, man. So having patience, I think, man, is super important, and just, how to love, man. The kids, that's what they bring out of you.
Man, it's so funny. I talked with my wife. This was maybe like 2 days ago, and man, I was just like telling her how at the time, I was feeling so bad because the previous day I had blew up on the kids. We were in the car. I was tired. Just got off work.
Right.
Went to pick them up from school, and man, it was just, bro, I blew up on them so bad, and it was just real small, bro.
Right.
But I was so tired.
Sometimes you gotta remember that too. That in your own, you edgy and you're tired. You gotta have that control, that self-control, and it's just a blessing to be able to realize when you do that, because you're gonna be able to work on it slowly, and eventually get to the point where you being a man, you taking it on the chin, so you don't take it out on nobody else. You gotta be the man. You gotta take that on the chin instead of letting that aggression or frustration out on the family.
Yeah, that's real, man. And like you said, bro, it was like right in the moment, bro. Like after I got done, I'm like, I ain't gonna trip. Like, in the backseat looking at me like I'm. Like, man, daddy really bad.
It's tough, man. Yeah, you gotta remember, you gotta work on it, bro.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's real.
For sure.
Man. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Man, how do you balance your time between work, family, marriage? It's like, you gotta split your time, with your son, with your daughters.
Right. Yeah.
Your
Come to the door,
all
all three of them call
bro.
you. You wanna do your own thing, and they all like, daddy. We do a pretty good job. Me and Chelsea, you gotta work as a team, bro. You know what I mean? So it's like, boom, let me keep them busy.
Yeah.
You go do what you gotta do real quick.
Yeah.
Come back, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Or you know what I mean? And then you just make time, man. You know what I'm saying? You always figure out to do what's important. And you can squeeze in your family and work as much as possible, and just, you know, studying is always important, that knowledge, bro, trying to gain as much knowledge as you can. In whatever way you might be doing it, you know what I mean? So whether it be reading a book or like watching a podcast, people be getting information from all kinds of different places these days. So just, you know, you find a way to make it work, man. You stay busy. That's why you always tired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're definitely working and you with the kids more than you just sleeping or just chilling, that's for sure. Man, you make it work.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's real.
That's what you gotta do.
That's real, man. That's real. So I want to go into some relationship talk, man. How has it been, you know, now you're in this new relationship, you know, you still had, you know, you got your son's mom that you deal with. Like, how has it been just coming together and being with another person? And how has she taken that, you know, as far as the kids and all of that stuff? How has it been for her?
She's taking it like a champ, bro. She's dealt with a lot from the start. You know, my son's mom.
Yeah.
Whew. You know what I mean?
I know.
She's, you know, she loves little man to death, and that's for sure. But she's definitely, you know, a little extra at times. You know what I'm saying? And she's definitely never been fond of Chelsea from the jump, which is understandable. You feel me? But dude, Chelsea's a beast, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? She's had to deal with that. Never, you know, she's always dealt with that very well, very mature. She don't be feeding into it. It's never been a problem because you know what I'm saying? So she's always dealt with everything very well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then that's my baby, man. She does everything. She's always taking care of little man from day one. And then she's just the best mom, you know what I mean? And dude, it's not easy.
Yeah.
2 baby mamas. You feel me? It's definitely not easy, and it would be a lot harder if she was more difficult about a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'm so blessed that, you know, she don't be tripping like that. You know what I mean? They all do to a certain extent, but bro, she's always been, like I said, very mature, just handles everything like a boss. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed to have her, bro. I always have been. You know what I mean? We've had our ups and our downs, always. We've been through a lot.
Yeah.
I've taken and put her through some shit. Straight up, bro. And you know what I mean? She's still by my side. So I love her, bro. I love her to death, bro. And then she's blessed me with my 2 girls. You know what I mean? And it's been tough at times dealing with the back and forth with my son's mom. But for the most part, man, we do a pretty good job of like not feeding into like any kind of drama like that, dealing with things accordingly. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed, bro. Like how, you know what I mean? The best way for me to explain it, cause it's not me. You know what I mean? She's held it down a lot. Things could be a lot harder for me, easily. So thank God for her. You feel me? I gotta be thankful for her. I love her to death, bro. So it ain't never easy. Lord knows we got our issues, bro. That's for sure. But at the end of the day,
that's that baby.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
right.
Baby, man.
That's right. For sure.
But no, that's real. And I even like to say this, man. I know I got a lot of women listeners out there. If you're gonna be with a man that you know has children, you either, if you know you're gonna have a problem with that, leave that man alone.
Don't get committed to that relationship, right?
Straight up.
If you got kids, or even vice versa, if you're gonna be committed to the person, you gotta take the kids with you. That's key. And then that's not always easy.
Yeah.
Because the actual biological mother or father of that child don't want their kids around other people, which is completely understandable. But if you can try to be as grown up about it as possible and eventually get to a place where you can communicate a little bit and you understand that it sucks that your kids are around other people like that, but it's better that y'all got along to a certain extent because it's better for the kid, bro.
Straight up.
Straight up. Fuck how you feel. You know what I'm saying? That's me or
Yeah.
anybody else. If you know what I'm saying? It's about the kids. You know what I'm saying? So as long as that person ain't a bad influence on the child like that, and they're not, you know what I'm saying, wilding out.
Yeah.
They're a decent person, you know what I mean? And you actually, you know, try to wait to find that out and not, you know what I'm saying? You don't automatically know people or whatever. But yeah, if possible, bro.
Yeah.
It's just important for you to know if you're gonna be in a relationship with somebody who has kids, you gotta be ready to take all that on. You know what I mean? Having kids ain't easy.
At all.
And then, you know what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh, well, that's their kid. That don't got nothing to do with me. I mean, you know, people, you can do that, but that's also not best for the kid. You feel me? So, and it's hard to always think about what's best for the kids. People got a whole lot of stuff going on. It's a blessing for us to be able to, you know, focus in on family and, you know what I mean, mainly do, you know, put them first. It ain't easy, bro.
Yeah.
People got, it's a crazy world. People got a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. That's real.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes, man, I've heard of stories where, man, you know, people are almost like, oh, you gonna do this with your child, and it's like, man, you know this dude had a child before you got with him, you knew the situation between.
See, that's crazy.
Old girl, and it's like.
So you can't never let people do that either, bro. I know somebody, bro. Like, I don't even really want to. I almost don't want to talk about it because it's like it's other people's business. But let me try to put it in a way where it's not putting nobody out there. Let's say you got into a relationship with somebody and they had a kid. You took care of that kid from when they was little to when they graduated high school, pretty much. You feel me? That's your kid. Like, you took care of them. And then you had another daughter. Y'all had a daughter together too. You feel me? And then y'all split and you got together with somebody else, and that somebody else told you not to talk to that girl no more because she's not your biological daughter. And you stopped talking to her. Bro, that's crazy to me. You can't let nobody interfere with what you do with your kids like that. You gotta take care of your kids first. If somebody is like, it's me or your kids, you gotta be like, hell no. It's my kids, always. First, bro. It's always them first. You gotta understand that. My kids need me, your ass don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Tripping. So, it's crazy. You can't let people influence you like that. Those people you need to keep away from you. If they ain't thinking about your kids like they want to love them and take care of them, then they shouldn't even be around. You shouldn't be messing with them in the first place.
Straight up.
Yeah.
That's real.
Man.
Straight up.
Crazy, bro.
Man.
I'm telling
y'all, if y'all, some people out there, man, y'all better take heed, man. You know, because everybody ain't for you like that. Like if they can't accept your children, man, y'all, man, go please for yourself and for your child. Go on about your business, man. You know, because there's so many, you know, news stories we see weekly, you know, about a person harming a child.
Right.
Just like weird stuff, bro, like you would never think of, but it's like, you know, you just never know. When sometimes I'm more than sure it be signs, and you let people with you around your children, and
some kind of signs you would imagine for it to go there. Because there definitely be a lot of crazy stuff going on.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you gotta watch who you bring around your kids, for sure. So that's why it's understandable when people are, you know what I'm saying, not quick to want their kids around strangers. I get that completely. It's just hopefully, you know, y'all know better than having people around your kids and y'all can work together. You know what I'm saying?
That's real. That's real. Yeah. Man, I wanted to ask you this, man. What's your greatest joy of being a dad? What's that thing like that just really make you?
Man, I think I enjoy just playing with my kids, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like a big kid. So I roll around with them and I play with them and I get down and do what they want to do. So I think just spending time with them like that, doing what they actually enjoy doing, is one of the things that I like the most. And then sometimes, man, I'll be just watching them. You feel me? If they're doing something like that they're enjoying, or they're really interested in something, I look at them and I'm like, man, you know, it makes you feel complete, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are the joy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even have to, for whatever reason. I'm blessed to feel that way too.
Yeah.
Legit, man. I'm looking at my son the other day, man. I'm just, you gotta remember to be thankful and enjoy this moment right here.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't need too much special stuff going on. I'm already so blessed.
Yeah.
So man, just spending time with him, bro. Actually being able to sit down and just kick it with my kids is probably, there ain't really nothing that I enjoy more than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The
That's
only
real.
other thing that I want to do more than that is take them, stick them in an RV and just hit the road with them. You feel me? And just show them,
Yeah.
you know, there's so much stuff to see. You feel me? So if I could take them, drive around the United States,
what?
hit all the national parks and whatnot, all the crazy stuff there is to see,
Yeah.
I would do that, man. But just being with them, it's a blessing.
That's real. From the heart of a real daddy right there.
Yeah, man.
Y'all hear it?
For real.
For real.
Yeah.
What is one area, what's one area of parenting that you believe you could work on?
Dang. Probably. Can I be better? I mean, there's a lots of things that I can work on. You know what I mean? But to start, probably just. It's crazy. This might sound crazy, but it might be the same thing that I think I've learned the most from is that patience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because even though I feel like I've come a long way, I still have them moments. And I still feel like, dang, man, you ain't doing good enough. You know what I mean? You need to do much better than that. I'm trying to think of specifics, but it's tough. You know what I'm saying? What can I do better? Man.
No, that's real. That
I mean,
patience, man. That patience.
Yeah.
Man, bro. Like,
That's really important,
Yeah,
bro.
my
Because it
top
ties
is-
into everything, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Your patience ties into everything that you do with them and how you interact with them. You know what I'm saying? And just your self-control. You feel me? I think that
Yes,
too.
sir.
Which I do well. You know what I mean? I think I'm blessed with that too. You feel me? Because like in my prior relationship with my son's mom, man, we got into some big fights. You know what I'm saying? Where like it was just out of hand. We like both going ham on each other. You feel me? Screaming crazy, breaking stuff. And luckily, when you have somebody, she's so chill, it don't never go there. So me being the loud kind of person I am, she don't never feed into that. So
Yeah.
luckily, I have the ability to control myself. Because I don't have her like, you know what I'm saying, fueling me to go crazy. It's just like, it's you. It's on you to control yourself, have the patience you need to have, and you know,
That's real.
deal with things accordingly. When something pops up or the kids are doing something that they're not supposed to be doing. I definitely, bro, like I'm big on like, if I tell you to do something, I need you to do it. You know what I mean?
Alright.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So like,
right.
yeah, you know what I mean? So like sometimes you gotta find the right way to go about things, no matter what. Cause they ain't gonna always listen every single time.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
so you gotta handle things accordingly. So
That's
yeah,
real. Yes, sir. Y'all fathers out there, listen.
yeah,
That patience
yeah, that's key.
and self-control
Yeah,
is so important also because we model that. Our children will model after us.
seriously.
When they see us growing up,
Yeah,
when they get mad,
exactly. And I already see it. My
Alright.
kids already.
Oh,
So
mine.
that's why it's like, okay, dude. If you know what I'm saying, you gotta make sure that you control yourself for real, cause they already got it in them because of you, cause you already been like that. So you got, you know what I'm saying. You really gotta try to have, you know, it's consistency. That's
real.
important.
That's
You
real.
got the self-control. You just need to find that steady consistency. And you know what I'm saying? It probably ain't never gonna be perfect, but it's a blessing to just be conscious and just know what you need to do, and actually make sure that you're working on doing it.
That's real. That's super real, man. So, if there was anything that you're fearful of as a dad, like what's that thing that you, like for instance for me, you know.
I heard you talking about this, I think, the other day.
Yeah, man, like what's that thing that's like, be like, dang, like I don't.
What dog? My mom and dad, my brother died last year. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that there's anything more that I really fear than that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even before that happened to my mom and dad, I remember being down south and that school shooting happened.
Yeah.
Homeboy walked
yeah,
into the high school and straight, you know what I'm saying, straight
Dang.
slaughtered like 17 kids, bro. So you got 17 kids. That's 17 families, bro. Moms and dads who they you know what I'm saying, they kiss their kid in the morning or hug them or do whatever. And their kid went to school and then boom, bro, they never came back. You feel me? That is most definitely the same thing with my mom. My dad, my son, my brother was a little older, but still, you know, just the thought of a parent having to bury their kid is definitely one of my biggest fears. You know what I'm saying? And I don't be fearing too much stuff, and that definitely scares me. And I pray to God, you feel me, every day that He take me first. And it sucks, bro, because I gotta watch my mom and dad, you feel me? It's go through it, and you gotta live, you gotta carry on, bro. You still gotta carry on after that shit happens to you, man. So it's crazy. Life is crazy. We really gotta appreciate what we have in front of us and not take stuff for granted. You know what I mean? It's super important. That's that too. I'm like looking at my kids yesterday, and I'm just like so in love and enjoying the moment because I know what people deal with it all the time, bro. People losing their kids all the time, bro. My mom's not alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy, bro.
She gave it to me. I said, okay, I'm gonna give it to you. I said, I'm gonna say from you.
Yeah, man. So yeah, my poor mom and dad, man. You feel me? I feel for them like crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously it sucks to lose my brother for sure. But I still, you know, thinking about them having kids. You know, it's rough, though. It's rough. I can't really think of anything that I feel more than that.
Man, bro.
That's it right there.
I think about that almost every other day, bro.
Yeah. Man, don't, bro. Don't think about that
I
shit
try
too
not
much,
to,
bro.
bro.
Because I feel you though. It comes up. Don't dwell on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just like everything else, man. You know, you got thoughts pop up in your mind all the time.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. That's why it's important to stay busy.
Yeah.
You feel me? Staying busy is crucial.
Yeah.
Stay
That's
busy.
real.
Work. Play with your kids, bro. They keep you busy. You feel
Yeah.
me? Get down there and just play with your kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. That stuff there, boy. I don't know. I try not to think, you know, and then I work at that warehouse, man. So it's like, I'm like by myself working most of the time.
Yeah, quiet.
So it's like,
Just you and your thoughts.
man, bro.
Just you and your thoughts. I feel you, bro.
It's so real, man.
Yeah. I be like that a lot too. That's cause you feel me? Like I work a lot. But even when I'm detailing cars in the morning, I'm by myself. Yeah, I'm always in my thoughts. I don't mess with people like that. So I be solo when I'm not playing with the kids and stuff.
Yeah.
Come home from work, it's quiet, everybody's sleeping. Man, I have nothing to do but to think about this crazy life we live. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so man, if you could go back and talk to your 18-year-old self, 18-year-old Mike.
Yeah, I like this question.
What would be that one piece of advice that you would give to 18-year-old Mike?
Honestly, bro, double up and repeat, bro.
Yeah.
Legit. Double up and repeat. Invest.
Yeah.
You know, business, bro. Sell that shit instead of, you feel me? I blew so much money, bro, at that age. I'm spending, smoking. You know what I'm saying? So, man, that's what I would tell myself. Going back to then, 18,
Yeah.
no real bills, no children, none but cash. And, you know, none but cash. So, if I can go back, or if I could talk to people, man, and you know, kids don't listen, bro. You gotta learn on your own. But no, it's like, don't spend it today. Stack it up to the point where it's making money for itself, and then you can spend it, and you still got money.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, it's hard though, because you know you got everything in front of you. Should be calling you know. But if you can, man, if you're young, if you 18, 19, 20, anything like that, even now, you feel me?
Now, straight up.
Even now, obviously. But it was just, it would have been on a different level. I would have been loaded. And you know, you can't think like that because them days are over. But still, if you're bringing it up, if I could go back, man, double up and repeat until right now. You feel me? That's, whew.
Man.
That's money on top of money,
We was
bro.
spending money on
Instead of
nothing.
spending it, bro. Right. Instead of just spending it.
That's real.
I was like, man, how do I make more of it?
Crazy, man.
Be alright. But you know, at least I'm lucky to be able to at least, you know, I guess it comes with age.
Yeah.
You start to look at all these, you know, like successful people as far as business goes, as far as financing goes.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, man, you need to tighten up. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, and not, you know, you gotta work for yourself, man. If you can, start a business.
Yeah.
You feel me? You
Yeah.
gotta work for yourself.
Straight up.
How to do it. Be able to take care of people. Have people working for you.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man. Hey, boy, that's free game now.
Yes, sir.
All my young,
Yes,
young
sir.
man out there listening,
I'm
man.
dropping it, dog. Pick it up.
Game.
Pick it up. You should.
And it's on you.
You
You know,
should.
cause if you listening and you hear this, you
Yeah.
still don't do it,
Yeah.
you ain't got nobody to
It's
blame
on
but
you.
yourself.
Yeah, you think back.
Straight up.
Yes, sir.
Straight up. Man, if there's a father out there listening, you know, if you could give them one piece of advice about fatherhood, parenthood, man, what would you say to them?
You are the man, bro. So it's important for you to try to understand that. You know what I mean? At times, you know, you feel helpless, you feel weak, you want to call on somebody for help. But then, you know, but you got to remember that there's people looking at you. So I had a dude tell me, he said to me, bro, he said he just had a baby. And he said his wife was going crazy. You feel me? That postpartum was hitting her strong. You know what I mean? And he was like, man, I don't know what to do. He was like really panicked. And I was like, listen. He's like, she be crying, and then I be almost crying, and that. I'm like, listen. I was like, you gotta be the man. So you gotta act like everything's okay. You cry when you're in the shower, bro. You feel me? You gotta be strong for her. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be strong for her, and you gotta be strong for the kids. So, you know what I mean? Even when you down and you angry, you upset, you sad. It's not like you should never show your emotion, but at the same time, you know, the kids don't have a full understanding of what's going on. They're only getting that energy. And then your lady, bro, and I like, it's like, your lady is feeding off of you too. I don't know how else to put it, bro. You just have to be the man. I don't want women to feel like I'm saying, you know what I mean, like they're any less, you know, like we're any less dependent on them. But just, it's just a feeling that I have. You know, you're old school. You gotta be the man. It starts with you. So that's my advice to you, is to remember, when your lady's going crazy and your kids are going crazy, you are the man. So it's on you to act accordingly, no matter what's going on, or, you know, how upset your wife might be, or your girlfriend, you know what I mean? How, you know, no matter what, how the kids are getting on your nerves, how bad it might be, you are the man. And you know, it's important for you to remember, to try to remember that.
That's real.
And act like it.
We are the constant in our homes. You know, we gotta be the ones that are always, you know, like my boy say, you know, when everything else is going crazy, we stand.
Yeah.
We standing up in the paint.
It's
you know,
important.
we gotta be that one.
It's important for you to let your family know it's okay.
Straight up. Straight up. Now that's real, man.
Yeah.
So for any dad out there listening to this podcast, man, I pray that, you know, when all else fails and everything else is looking crazy, you continue to be that constant for your family.
Hold your
That
head.
they can always depend on you, man. So, man, boy, this right here was real. Man, there's so much that was said in this, man. You know, so much that we all can learn from. You know, so many things that my brother said, man, that I pray that all fathers out here, you know, all fathers listening everywhere would continue to move forward, because this ain't easy. You know, being a dad ain't, by any stretch of the imagination, it ain't easy whatsoever. You know, and for all the people out there that might be about to have a child, or, you know, thinking about having children, always remember that this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for weak-hearted people, man.
That's
you
right.
know, having a family and having people look to you. You have a child, man, that child is looking at you, and they want to know, they looking at you to know, like, what's going on, you know. So it ain't nothing easy about this, man. So when you see a father that's taking care of his business and doing everything that he's supposed to be doing, commend that man, because it is not easy. You know, it's not easy whatsoever, man.
That's right.
You better believe that man is going through all types of things, you know, all types of thoughts running through that man's mind, you know, and at times that man might be crying in the shower, and you might not ever see that. You might not ever know that. He might not ever tell you that. But you better believe that that man wakes up every day and he's striving to be the best he can be every day, man. And I commend you, my boy. For real, bro.
Sir.
Love you, man.
Same,
you know,
bro.
proud of you, bro. You know, and I just tell you, continue doing what you're doing, bro. You know, because there's so many people that's looking at you.
Right.
You know, your son coming up behind you, he's looking at you, everything you're doing, man. And, you know, continue to be that good example for him, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you for having me.
Talk, man.
Yes, sir. My dog.
Yeah,
For real, man.
Hey, man.
I'm glad you came, dog.
Y'all don't understand, man. This been my dog for a long time.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
Damn, time flies, man. I
Crazy,
remember
man.
y'all being like, man, come play, man. Come play this ball. I used to be like, nah, I'm good. All right, as soon as I touched that ball, I was like, all right, let's go. That's
For real,
crazy.
man. Y'all don't even understand, man. Like, this like full circle,
crazy.
you know, like when I was in 11th grade back then, real deal jit,
Yeah.
you know, and just
When that championship, when they won that championship, we went. No, I been thinking about that all the time.
well, we was tripping, bro.
Yeah, that was
and I
fun.
had that thing on camera.
Yes, sir. You recorded that whole shit. Yeah, you did.
It's crazy.
Dang. Oh, that thing don't exist no more, do
Man,
it?
bro, it's going. It was on my old computer, man. Dang, we lost. Hey,
Dang.
man,
That's
y'all
good.
don't
Man.
understand.
Have me to
man.
look at that shit again. That's
Yeah, man.
that's funny
Man,
as
we
hell.
done been through so much, man, and to see
Yeah.
where we are today, man, in 2021, it's been, what, 16 years, bro? 16 years, man.
Crazy.
Still standing,
Yes, sir.
handling our business, man.
Bless.
I love it, bro.
Bless.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah, man, we gonna end that here, man. It's episode 38. I got another one coming next week.
Yes,
I
sir.
got my boy Popo, Big Bernard West coming on next
Yes,
week,
sir.
man. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely excited for what God is doing in this new year, man. The podcast is gonna continue every week. My plan, man, is to have it.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take a couple of breaks. I gotta take some mental breaks, man. But all year, man, we hit hard.
Keep it steady,
Ain't no
now.
stopping. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
we coming
Yes,
up
sir.
on a year, and we finna continue. We
Doing
continue
work,
to
bro.
push.
Keep doing
That's
shit.
it. Straight
Doing
up,
work. Keep it going, bro.
straight up.
We're proud of you.
So,
Yes, sir.
man, I thank all of my listeners out there, man. Everyone that's supporting y'all showed so much love with these shirts and everything, man. So